return back from SEIBON. We've got our carbon bits. This is one of my favorite processes when we get a new project car, is calling up the homies at SEIBON, getting this stuff ordered through throtl and getting it here, because it makes a big difference before we take this off the paint. We get a kind of an idea of what the car is gonna look like after it comes back from paint. Ain't that right?
I was trying to hide from you, bro.
So we picked up a new hood, we picked up a new wing. I'm really excited about the hood because this is the hood that I've always wanted to put on an EVO if I ever owned one.
Of course.
Beat it! Ooh, baby! Nice. Oh wait, it comes with the cover too?
I've never seen this.
Oh, nice. SEIBON. Look at the quality. I'm super excited about this. So you remove these for a racetrack, and it allows the ventilation to actually function, or you put them in for the daily driver. I know Ariana Mamiya hoods come with a nice rain guard as an upgrade, but man, to come with this straight out of the box. All right, and I can already tell what this one is just by looking at it. We had a big debate around here whether we should go with a stock style wing or a GT style wing, like a tall roof height type GT wing. And to be honest, it was 50-50 on the decision. But our friends at SEIBON actually make this stock style carbon fiber EVO trunk spoiler, and we thought we would go with this one. How it looks.
So far, so
dang.
A lot of carbon. Is that a one piece? Oh wow, it is.
Yeah, I thought it was three-piece, but yeah. So I think we're gonna end up painting these car color underneath the blade.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't want to scratch our trunk, but well, it's pretty flat.
Dude, that's the fitment so far looks really good.
So this is very similar to the stock wing. I know Dustin's wing on his EVO that came with this. Actually, the blade is a separate piece. This is a separate piece. This is a separate piece. They also have inserts on the inside that screw in. This flows a lot nicer without all the extra lines and pieces involved.
This thing has needed a wing. That was definitely missing.
A little bit of mud in there, bud?
Dude. Yeah.
I can see it.
That was all bundle, which means this one used to have a wing.
Yeah, it did. It had the stock wing.
And they covered it. Oop.
Our wing holes line up. Look, if you look where my mark is.
Somebody should send it?
Yeah, let's just put it where they have the holes and then we'll do our own body work on it. Sick. Now we just gotta find the other one here, which it looks like it's right here. Should we just use a screwdriver and try to find it?
No.
Got it. Tell me you filmed that.
Yeah, I did.
Wow. We just punched the drill through the previous
holes that were already there.
Yeah, hopefully.
It needed the wing.
The wing and the hood,
It's hard to visualize, right? Because it's got the weird color on it, but oh my god.
SEIBON actually did an awesome job, and the holes for their wing mount were in exactly the same spot as where our factory trunk was already pre-drilled and had been covered up by a previous owner or body shop with basically Bondo. So we were able to just take the drill and just punch right through the Bondo, and the holes were exactly where we needed them. We were already anticipating potentially having to weld in some material from the bottom and close up the holes and re-drill and everything, but it actually fits. So if you have an EVO, you can use a SEIBON product, use the existing holes, and put this right back on. All right, so we were talking about these rain guards and how these usually are like an extra charge on most hoods that you would get, say, from Ari Yamamiya. Ricky and I are familiar with those from the FD community, and they charge an extra, I think, $200 for the rain guards. You can get them in carbon or FRP. These ones come standard. The one thing I do notice is the SEIBON one just uses like a self-tapper type small screw to hold it in, which is going to wear out over time if you take these in and out a lot. So what Ricky and I might do is actually install some maybe M5 nutserts, and we'll actually bolt these in so that the threads stay intact. The new owner can take these in and out whenever they want. Like if you do a car wash, you don't want all the soapy water to get in your engine bay. Yeah. So yeah, we got enough meat here to put nutserts.
Well done.
Oh, it is pretty cool to see all that stuff through here.
Yeah.
Maybe? Yeah.
Alright guys, you guys just saw me replace the spark plugs. There was nothing wrong with them or anything. We just doing general maintenance on it like we do with every vehicle that we buy. Next thing we're gonna do, Mickey's painting the hood.
With a Sharpie?
With the Sharpie. We're actually marking where the holes are gonna be for all the rubber seals that come from the original hood. And we're gonna transfer all the seals to the carbon fiber one. Yeah. So we can get maximum air force.
Air Force?
It's not Air Force, huh?
Marines?
It's
Air Force One?
No.
Space Force?
Down force. Something like that. I just removed this bracket from the EVO, and it's actually what holds the horn to it. As you guys notice, it's kind of rusty, so I'm just gonna primer it for now. When the car comes back from paint, we're actually gonna take it all apart and start detailing and painting exactly what we need to paint with different colors or whatever. And the previous owner actually added this rod, which is where he had the tow hook for it. So I'm just gonna paint it now.
So this bumper was in really bad shape when we got it, and it's gonna get repaired at the body shop. So they're gonna do all the fiberglass repair and fix up all the cracks and nicks and all that stuff. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to fortify these mounting tabs on the side. And so what I did was I made some, as you can see, they're completely cracked and broken off. I went ahead and made some aluminum tabs that go underneath the bumper, and then we're just riveting those on in the flange. And then it'll allow us to put a nutsert back on this bumper, and then I've also done another side that's underneath our aluminum fenders as well. So a decent thickness aluminum where I can put a nutsert inside there and not the plastic clip that the factory uses, because that just pulls out.
That's what she said.
So we're basically gonna be fortifying both sides with aluminum material. if you remember in the first video when Dennis was here drawing the car, I talked about getting rid of this air scoop, which basically brings cold air into the air intake. And if you'll notice, the hood is actually cut out and there's no molding here to allow for that air to pass through into the engine bay. So this is actually a really functional part, which is cool, but I don't really care for the way it looks. What we decided to do is actually paint this portion black. And so that way when the car's or whatever color we're gonna paint it, and the hood's down, this will sort of disappear a little bit. I don't want this to be a focal point of the front of the car. So these will continue to be, all this will be, and this will be satin black, so that it's no longer something that your eye catches when you look at the front of the car. I kind of drew a line where I was thinking we would break the blue and the black, but I actually took a step back and didn't like that. So I'm gonna wipe that off and actually mark it with tape so that I can accurately figure out how I want this to end up. I'm thinking it's gonna be something along these lines. As with the front bumper, a lot of the tabs on the body kit are broken off, and they use factory mounting provisions. So there's a hole here and a hole back here. As you can see, this guy ran a really aggressive wheel fitment and actually messed this side skirt up and probably ripped it off at one point in time or another. But you can see these are metal mounting points under here. So what I'm gonna do is open up this hole, I'm gonna put a nutsert here, and I'm gonna also add a nutsert down here, and that'll allow us to run an M6 bolt into the side skirt. We'll also get this fiberglass cleaned up at the paint shop. The other problem with the way they mounted these side skirts was because they use factory mounting hardware, you know, one off-track excursion and it rips these things off, and then the holes get all blown out and you can never put them back together and have them hold tight. So what I'm gonna do is, there's a square hole under the chassis that a plastic push clip goes into, and a screw goes into that. And what happens is once that square gets oblonged or whatever, the clip keeps popping out. That's what's happening here. So I'm gonna make a little aluminum plate that's gonna rivet to the chassis that has a nutsert in it that allow us to put an M6 bolt through, and these side skirts aren't going anywhere. All right, so I just whipped up two little rectangle tabs basically, and again, like I said, I'm gonna just drill a center hole, put a nutsert, M6 nutsert in here, like one of these guys. We'll drill a hole on either side of this, mount it to the chassis, and boom, we got a mounting provision for our side skirt. All right, so you guys get it? That's what we're making.
Next day.
All right, guys, if you guys notice, I'm inside the Evo, and now we are gonna be on our way to SOS Custom so they can start painting this bad boy. Forgot to put in Sport Sharp. All right, guys, Victor here, the editor. So Ricky's in the Evo. I'm going to be following him here in the Subaru. SOS is going to be doing some final touch-ups and polishing. They're going to be getting the car ready for Luke, who's the winner of the STI. All right, so this is my first time driving this car other than the parking lot, and I must say, this thing drives and feels like a straight race car. The noises that it makes, the rattling that it makes in the back, how perfect and double-up the suspension is. And it's extremely, extremely smooth on the road. The road that I'm at now is probably the worst road in San Diego, and this thing is handling it and taking the punch like crazy. Now that I'm driving it on the road, the tune is perfect, it's super smooth. The brakes they work extremely well. If you guys notice, the steering wheel is kind of crooked, but other than that, I mean, the alignment is perfect. But honestly, it doesn't really need an alignment. It just needs the steering wheel to be straightened out, and that's it. I'm also noticing that the oil temp and the oil pressure gauge are both working. Oh, the boost gauge is working as well, but the exhaust temp is not. So when it comes back from paint, I'm going to take a look at that. This guy's We made it, boys, to SOS. Let's take all this stuff off and get out of this car and say hi to Mickey. So guys, we made it to SOS. This is it for this video. Next video, you're gonna see about this car. This thing's gonna be looking mint, and then we're gonna get started on everything else in this car, right guys? So thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and comment below. See you guys.